We OG, oh no, G. You're not bullish enough, yeah. Oh no, you're not bullish enough. You ain't got the or no. I get stoned by the bolo. Bitcoin set to overload, yeah. Experts on reload, yeah. You're not bullish enough, yeah. Oh no, you're not bullish enough. You ain't got the or no. I get stoned by the bolo. Bitcoin set to overload. Experts on reload. Mempool getting hot. Everybody wanna rock, ayy. Runes is coming, everybody on a knot, ayy. It's a nuisance, Ordinal Revolution, ayy. Ordinal Revolution. Yo, is my guy for real, bro? Got French right now. Yo, BRC 420, bro. Yo, that shit on fire, bro. Imagine if he in here. Yeah, like it in the seal. Murder. I got balls of steel. Nookies on the field. Yeah, this shit for real. With no calls, I get so far. Got 100 phone calls that I go hard, and they gon' love me. Smoke weed, huddle back. I get shiesty. Where my Bitcoin looking lovely. All this Satoshi's nothing above me. Bitcoin's alive, what you gon' do? Mempool fees are high. Ordinal. Where does it stop? Nobody knows. It's a revolution, ayy. Bitcoin is the one, no substitution, ayy. With Shizzy and Yagobi, it's Ordinal Revolution.
Welcome back to Ordinal Revolution, where we cover the entire Bitcoin Ordinal ecosystem. What is up, guys? It is Monday, and we're going to kick the week off strong. As you notice, I am the main co-host of the show today. Shizzy is out with a family event today, so we have Fonzie from Ordinal Hive that is going to be our guest co-host, so it's going to be really, really exciting. You guys know who Fonzie is. He's an OG in the space, and he does an amazing job and brings amazing wisdom to the show every time he helps us out. So we want to thank him for helping us out today. But we got a lot of stuff to go over today, guys. You know, Bitcoin is kind of doing some weird stuff today, right? Pullback, but, you know, it's really testing that 50 EMA, the 50-day EMA, right? And so this is the first time we've tested it since October 13th. So no surprise there. You know, we got all the way past 69,000. I think it was Shizzy's favorite number, 69,420, right? We did hit that yesterday. And so this is an expected little, you know, pullback, not a correction, but a pullback. And I think we're fine. We actually are testing that 50-day EMA as we speak right now. We're right in the middle of the top and the bottom of the 50-day EMA. So I think what's going to happen here is we'll probably hang out here for a bit and then continue that uptrend. But we shall see. But before we jump into anything, if you guys could help us out on the YouTube side, smash that like for us as it helps us with the algorithm. And then if you're not subscribed, I don't know what you're doing with your life, you got to subscribe to Ordinal Revolution, especially to get all the Bitcoin ecosystem news. Subscribe to us and turn the notifications on so you know when we go live and you can get that alpha. On the X side, if you could share the space, man, that would be such a big help for us as well. And hit that like for us as well. But yeah, a couple different things we're going to get into with Bitcoin news. You know, the SEC is approving the spot Bitcoin options trading. That's huge. How is that going to affect the overall market? We shall see. A couple other things here. UK pension giant is going to be entering the crypto space by offering tokenized funds. So that's going to be interesting. And then some other more of the ecosystem side of things. You know, BitP, one of our partners, their trading competition is going to start here in about, I would say, about 45 minutes. It is actually ready. It wasn't up until late yesterday, but it is ready now. So we'll get into that as well. But without further ado, let me bring up my guest co-host, none other than the infamous Fonzie.
Yo, GM, how's it going, Yagobi? Thanks for that amazing introduction. That intro song is amazing. I'm like, I want to play that every single day. I think we should play that once we reach 70K. We go all out.
Yes, for sure. Well, we will play it whenever we reach 70K because are you talking about the Sam Sage one?
Yeah.
Because we play it every day, so
Yeah.
it's definitely going to be playing when we hit 70K. But how you been, man? I know,
Good.
you know, as a founder, and you're like a jack of all trades because you're talented in many different ways. You can even help co-host Ordinal Revolution. But like, how have you been lately with just, you know, everything going on with Ordinal Hive and the space? What's your feeling right now?
Yeah, I appreciate it a lot. But by the way, I love co-hosting Ordinal Revolution. I think it's just so epic. It's just like one of my favorite things to do. So always love it, and I appreciate when you guys invite me over. Yeah, no, it's been a lot. It's definitely a process. I think, you know, it's crazy because like I didn't get a time to adjust from like Amsterdam to LA. I just went straight to it. And a lot of it just grinding the phase. And I think it's a bullish time just because of everything you see, right? The ecosystem, which we'll talk about, sort of runes coming up, price action. Runes are getting a lot of mindshare too. And there's like, you know, a couple of like, you know, tweets out there, even sort of like social media engagement. AI, of course, takes the precedent. Like everyone talks about AI, but runes is in the top 10, right? People are talking about it. It's having mindshare, which is always bullish. And just the entire eco as a whole, right? You talked about the pension last week. Chase, like, you know, Chase came out with like, you know, their reserves of Bitcoin, which, you know, it's funny after Jamie Dimon said like, oh, you know, anyone who buys Bitcoin is gonna get fired. He himself has reserves. I'm waiting for that supply shock, right? The reserves are decreasing. People are buying in droves, and I think, you know, that run up, you know, it's pretty obvious it's gonna happen sometime soon. Like the price has to be like, you know, kind of you know, priced accordingly, and I think it's so far kind of undervalued based on what I'm hearing. But yeah, no, everything's good, you know, and yeah, super excited to like get the show running, and I can't wait for like, you know, any other sort of like cycles and news stories we hear along the way.
Yeah, for sure. One thing you mentioned was, you know, everybody's expecting Bitcoin to kind of do its thing here very, very soon, right? So you know, looking back at previous cycles, you see that, you know, the halving year, that Q4 does have a good little run up, but that's not anything close to what happens in the post-halving year, right? So how do you see that playing out? Do you see us having like a good little holiday, you know, Bitcoin maybe breaking out all-time high, but not going absolutely nuts? Or do you expect Bitcoin to go nuts before December 31st?
Yeah, I think Christmas is tomorrow. I think Christmas came early, is coming tomorrow. No, in all seriousness, I think this one here it's quite different than the other ones because we've hit an all-time high before the happening. And I don't think it's ever was like, I mean, I don't think that ever happened before, right? And so we've had like that, you know, all-time high, and then like it's just kind of sideways all throughout to this time frame. And then we see it like kind of touch 70K. You know, I think if anything brings true, I think that after the elections we'll have more clarity in terms of like the direction of the price, right? Direction of, you know, the country, which kind of like, you know, definitely declares on that, but more direction on the crypto side of stuff and regulations and sort of like who really is going to win out. So from that perspective there, I can see having more clarity come that time. In terms of like action or movement and stuff, I do see it playing out in some form of like landscape where it does move upwards in a good trend towards the end of the year, but nothing drastic. And then we see that huge price change like beginning Q1, Q2. And it just continues, you know, kind of tailing and just reaching all-time highs and new highs and new highs. And then we have like people talking about it, and then, you know, we have the mainstream media talking about it, and that's when we should sell, and, you know, all that cool stuff. So like I think it probably might follow a very similar trend, although it might be short-lived than the other ones. That's a different story for another day, but I think it might be short-lived.
Yeah, good point there. Yeah, it could be really impactful because of like nation state FOMO, especially if Trump wins and he does the stockpiling reserve and all that stuff. But yeah, we could definitely get into that on another live session because that could be a very long conversation. But let's jump into some of the Bitcoin news that's happening across the globe here. First thing is SEC approves New York Stock Exchange options trading on spot Bitcoin ETFs. So this is very interesting. One of my pastime favorite things to do in the traditional, you know, TradFi markets was to play options. I know that makes me. Everybody's like, oh, he's a degen. Yes, everybody has known I'm a degen, but yeah, that was one of my favorite things. Now you can actually do that with Bitcoin. Man, this is huge. Like, I wish I could have done this like years ago. And there's going to be, in my opinion, you know, a lot of FOMO with that. How do you feel this changes the game?
Yeah, it changes a lot actually. Institutions coming in, it's always good. It's always good. You'll start seeing, and I think from that sense, like even I hope I'm wrong on this, but like you'll start seeing it be more of a sort of safe bet in the sense that you'll get that specific, 2 or 4% return on a year, which is really good in the stock, like a stock approach, right? But more institutions coming in, like adding like value to it, it's always good. It's always a good sign. I don't think I would post to that. I see it also as a way for it to like, be more accepted in the regulatory terms, which is always bullish and just provides more clarity, right? People who operate in this space like don't have that clarity. So like, kind of being in a gray area to more of the light, area. So I think that's always good. This also reminds me of like I know the time where the SEC sort of like I think people were trading stocks on Uniswap, like they created a token on the stock and the SEC
Oh yeah.
yeah, they're like, yo, don't do that. But it's like the opposite. So are we gonna see more spots? Are we gonna see potentially like a rune spot, ETF or something like that? Could that be in the works?
Yeah, I can see something like that. I remember that time period too. Basically, they were trying to create synthetic stocks, like a Tesla version, but there was so much like regulatory red tape with that.
Yeah.
That I think even like degen crypto advisors were like, "Hey, don't try to do this because it's like you can get in a lot of trouble." Now with institutions coming in, I think that could definitely change because if they are the ones that are doing it, they have the connections in the SEC. They have the regulatory kind of pathway to that. So it's going to be very interesting. But one of my buddies is really, really good at trading traditional options, right? TradFi. But he doesn't really mess with crypto, maybe some spot Bitcoin and Ethereum. But this excites him a ton. So I think we're going to see a lot of participation. Now, obviously, that can also once we get through this bull run and the bear comes, we'll probably see a lot of FUD articles come out because a lot of people are going to try to create puts and shorts and stuff, right, to bring it down. So there's a good and bad with this, in my opinion. So we'll see.
Yeah, I agree. And again, option trading is always like very degen. It's always a derivative play, which requires you to definitely research on that stuff. But having options on crypto is never a bad option, I think.
Yep, I agree. All right, moving right along here. The United Kingdom pension giant LNG, which they manage $1.5 trillion in their is entering crypto by offering tokenized funds, joining the likes of BlackRock and Franklin Templeton. So we all know that the United Kingdom kind of had this really CBDC type of mentality before, right? I'm sure they still do because it's in that Western European Union type of mentality, right? But how big do you think this is with another giant kind of joining, like kind of like the retirement type of fund management part of crypto?
Oh man, I think it's huge. I think it's really huge, and in two ways. Like when you have that much, not only kind of assets under management, and you consider allocating a bit to tokenized funds or whatever ecosystem like you think of, it's always a positive, right? Like I think liquidity, there's demand for it. You can talk about like all these factors, but what's more important is the adoption of this, right? The adoption of pension funds, like saying, oh wait, this is actually a pretty good asset class to have our funds like invested in, or like at least buy some of these things, right? Like that's the type of mentality, that's the type of like things you want at the end. And so I think LNG joining the trend of like BlackRock, Franklin Templeton, and others, it's a really, really good signal. It's a really good sign. And I think it's the first time I hear someone in the West, or at least in the European side of stuff, who are this big joining in, right? There's no others. I think they're the first ones to do it. So I think Europe is taking notes. I think others will follow suit eventually, and that's sort of like this kind of new cycles, new stuff is what we kind of discussed before like run up, right?
Yeah.
So it has every element, and I'm interested to see like what the allocation is or how much you're going to allocate that specific fund. But if it's substantial, if it's like 1 or 2%, I think that's pretty good.
Yeah, I agree. You have to remember though, the UK was a part of the whole Brexit, remember, and so they do have kind of a similar mentality to like the European Union, right? Which I think they're definitely a lot more hardcore CBDC type of mentality with digital assets. But the UK tends to right now, obviously politically, they have a lot of crazy stuff going on over there. But I think like the UK and the US, they kind of have a lot of overlap, you know, and if they see, you know, possibly the Republican nominee winning, then they might be like, okay, let's get ahead of this. You know what I'm saying? So it makes sense to me in that aspect. But for like something to come out of Germany or you know, one of those countries that are really in the heart of the European Union, I don't know. That would be a shocker to me, but we'll see.
Yeah, yeah, and I agree. I agree. Like, I think a shocker, or actually not a shocker, but a good signal is if, like, you know, someone like China, like they go, you know, reverse their ban and like get on the action too, which I actually see that happening maybe, but I agree. Like, maybe it's not, maybe UK, for instance, it might be like, you know, something that you might say, okay, it's not shocking, but it's still a good sign. Like, I think that's a good pathway. It's a good direction, nonetheless. And then other countries will follow. So, like, you know, this definitely sends a signal. Like, you have a specific signal, like, you know, for institutions who send signals, this is one of them. So, like, you know, others will definitely have eyes on this and see, you know, kind of research, see what's going on there, and kind of have a better analysis. But yeah, I think overall it's a net positive for sure.
Yep. I agree. All right, let's get into this one right here. So this one's a pretty big headline in my opinion. You know, Japan to cut Bitcoin and crypto taxes from 55 to 20% if their Democratic Party wins the election. Now, that's interesting, right? Because I feel like we get kind of mixed signals, right? Because like usually it seems to be that the more conservative Republican side or whatever that version is in another country is more crypto friendly. But we had Italy last week come out and say that they're increasing capital gains tax on Bitcoin to like, I think it was like 65% or something crazy. Now we have the opposite here in Japan. So like, how do you feel about this? Number one, will you move to Japan if this is if this happens? Because that's pretty, you know, a big cut.
Yeah, I think to answer your first question, I'm shocked. I know it's at 55%. I'm looking at this. I'm like, what are they doing? Like, how? I mean, if Japan has it at 55%, how much are other countries have it during this time frame? No wonder we're like in a bear market. But yeah. And then second question, would I move to Japan? Oh man, if I do, like, I'll pay 20% to them, and I'll end up paying 20% to the US either way. So I'll be double
True.
taxed. So I'll be at 40% if the
Still lower than 55.
True. That's kind of accurate. So maybe we'll see on that. But I think it's good. Like, it's a good signal. It's a good move. I think there needs to be like like there's discussions, talks, even like during this campaign cycle, of people like taxing unrealized gains. I'm curious to see where they're at, what their stance is on that aspect too. Because 55% is insane. And if it goes down to 20%, that makes a huge difference. You're basically incentivizing people to, like, you invest in crypto, right? To, like, you know, kind of engage with crypto and sort of like move the money there. So that will basically act as an incentive. But I'm curious to see like what the unrealized gains tax is, or if they even have a policy there. But I think it's pretty much a positive. You go beyond this one.
Yeah, I agree. I think Japan's starting to, you know, realize, especially with MetaPlanet being a huge company over there, and following the whole, you know, MicroStrategy blueprint. But speaking of MicroStrategy, this was an interesting statement by Michael Saylor. Michael Saylor thinks you are a paranoid crypto anarchist if you hold your own keys and don't trust the government, which is kind of a little bit ass backwards. I would think, you know, coming from someone like Michael Saylor. What do you think about this statement?
I should have had the so there was for people who are in the audience, like, I had this great background with Michael Saylor as a football. I think it was AI generated. That would be a perfect place to post this. I'm wondering if this is satirical. If it's not satirical, then I guess I am a paranoid crypto anarchist. In that sense, I think there's something to say to that. I think Michael Saylor is a good character. I think he's you know, he definitely is definitely one of those individuals who not only like sort of has a leading voice in the Bitcoin space, but just crypto in general, right? And so, I think you're more of a paranoid crypto anarchist if you trust the government. If you trust the government, I think it's the opposite play. I think that's much more of a fearful approach if you think about it. But yeah, I think those are my 2 cents on that there.
Yeah, I don't know if he's referring to the fact that they, Coinbase manages their Bitcoin, right? And then obviously Coinbase is trying to follow whatever regulatory standards there are in the U.S. But yeah, it's definitely an interesting statement coming from him. But at the same time, I think he plays a little bit of, puts one foot in each bucket sometimes, because he wants to play nice with the government, and he wants to make them seem like he's, on board with them, because he wants them to kind of like bring regulatory, infrastructure into the whole industry. But at the same time, he is in love with Bitcoin and all that good stuff. So great points there. We'll see though. That's interesting. Definitely an interesting statement I didn't expect from him. That's for sure.
And one last thing to say on that there, Yagobi, is the government smart? Like they know what they're doing. Like they use decentralized entities to control or like indirectly regulate the crypto market, right? So like, if you're a project who wants to get listed on these top tier exchange, which is really good, you don't comply with them, then they'll delist you, right? And then you lose access to volume, you lose access to like, this trading stuff. So it definitely, decentralized exchanges are an arm that they use to regulate a sort of, environment that's not heavily regulated in a way. So yeah, definitely a couple of things to say on that. But I think Marcus Eller is just fine. I think he's still rolling the football quarterback jersey. He looked like Brett Favre. I'll be honest with you. He actually looks like Brett Favre.
in that picture. So to give a little context, Fonzie was like, I need a background image like you. I got one. And he put this background image. There it is right there. Look at him. That's Michael Favre. Michael Favre.
That's right. Michael Favre. He did retire. He retired today after this statement here. So he's not no longer with the Bitcoin team.
Yeah, exactly. That's funny. All right, this is the last bit business before we get into the Bitcoin fear and greed and the Bitcoin price action here. So this one's kind of just in general, like MetaMask is teasing. We do use MetaMask in the Bitcoin ecosystem with the Bitcoin layer 2s that use the EVM side, right? So they teased an airdrop with Pokemon inspired post. So first, that tells me that like these big companies and entities are feeling like maybe the election is going to go one way and regulatory standards are going to be a little bit lax, but we'll see. They also come out and say MetaMask is a nostalgic trading card post has stirred speculation of an upcoming airdrop, with users excited by hints like send, stake, and bridge. Okay. So obviously Send, Stake, and Bridge probably are like actionable things that you could maybe earn points for this airdrop and stuff. How do you feel about this? Do you think this could be a huge stimulus? But so many people use MetaMask. Yeah. They would have to like literally like cut like $100 million to $500 million check to give this away. How do you feel about this?
Yeah, I well, they definitely have the money to do that. Yeah. So that's one. MetaMask is huge. Like they're huge. Don't be mistaken by like OpenSea, Blurs, TensorTrade of the world. MetaMask is where the action happens. Like if you're one of these platforms or whatever DeFi platform you are, you always make sure to have MetaMask because that's where the users are at the end of it. So if you do end up doing some form of airdrop, like I expect it to be very, very large. I'm curious to see which ecosystem they use to do this, right? Whether it's Ethereum, whether it's Solana, maybe even Runes. Maybe I don't think so. Maybe perfect to maybe no, but in all seriousness, I think this would be one of the catalysts of like a potential run, right?
Yeah,
potential like run up or something.
Oh yeah, you're right. Because especially if you have this, then you have Magic Eden, then you have like all these other things.
Yep.
And like MetaMask, you're right. They have the capital and liquidity to, help kind of spur on this bull run, right? To really ignite it. So I'm excited about this because I think, I've been in this space for a while, so I should be getting a decent amount. I think most of us should, but let's see.
I think all of us right now in the comment section, even watching an X, are trying to scramble for our seed phrases. Even myself, I'm like, what do I have? I don't think I have anything there, but I'll see if I can find some. But yeah, I agree.
Yep. All right, guys, it's about that time to get into the Bitcoin fear and greed. So Shizzy always does this to me, and so I'm gonna do it to you because it's like not the most fun part of like me trying to get something right because it's so volatile. But Okay, so last week the Fear and Greed was at a 48 mark neutral.
Yeah.
Yesterday the Fear and Greed was at a 73. So that's what I'm talking about with the volatility. But it makes sense. Bitcoin hit 69,420. Where do you think we are today?
Ooh. Oh man. Okay. Oof. Oof. I feel like this is like one of those spelling bee quizzes. Can I use it in a sentence, please? Let's see.
Lifeline.
Lifeline.
Johnson.
I used to watch that show a lot. But okay. So I think based on the comments of Michael Saylor, I'll say we're below, but not slightly below. We're like at 72 or 71.
Oh, you already looked this up, man. You hit it right on the dot.
No, really?
72.
Nice.
Man, I just must be horrible at this, but yeah, it was 72.
I think I analyzed it based on the Michael Saylor comments, and then it shouldn't be too far off. Like we're like pretty bullish, LNG coming in. We have other stuff happening, so not too bad. But yeah, I think maybe I should go buy a lottery ticket or something right now.
Yeah, go buy a lottery ticket, but we're splitting it.
I'm done. And then
yeah. Go ahead.
No, go.
I was gonna say, good job, man. Good job hitting it on the first chance. So
nice. There's a future for me for these prediction markets.
Yep. All right, we got 200 people watching live. We appreciate each and every one of you guys. We're gonna get some Bitcoin price action, and don't worry, we're gonna get to the roll call right after. But let's jump into this Bitcoin price action. But before we do, I want to let you guys know that the BitP competition, the paper trading competition, will start here in, I would say, about 30 minutes is the time frame that they gave me. And this Bitcoin price action is brought to you guys by the great people at BitP. BitP is a perpetual leverage platform that you're going to be able to use up to 100x on runes and other Bitcoin layer 1 assets in our ecosystem, as well as Bitcoin and the other blue chips as well. So, but one thing I also want to do is I want to show you guys how to get started to get your paper trading USDT. So the first thing you do is I'm going to try to log out here. If it will let me. Can you see my screen? Oh, looks like Fonzie accidentally. There you are.
Okay, we're back. Yeah, sorry.
All right. So let's see here. Let me get out of here. Connect with the wallet. Okay,
and these are the options futures that we were talking about. It's so cool.
Yeah. So perpetual contracts, futures contracts, leverage, right? So you can choose between, so log in with your Metamask wallet, and you can choose between BitLayer or Core. It will automatically propagate the RPC for you. You just accept it. So you don't have to do any big steps there. Now, here's the part that wasn't working, but it's working now. You will see where it says get 10,000. Let me actually zoom in here for you guys where it says get 10,000 USDT. So you want to click that. And then your MetaMask is going to show up here, and then you'll confirm. All right, and you can see I have 10,000 USDT to paper trade with. So I could get started, on trading. So initially, they're going to start off with just the Bitcoin option, just to kind of get people comfortable with it, which is fine. I mean, you guys can trade Bitcoin based off of indicators, all that stuff. Eventually, what they will do is they will slowly roll in the runes and BRC20s that you will be able to trade. By the way, we are not doing the VIP pass for BitP. I should have told you guys a little earlier. My apologies. Not today or the Beyond whitelist. We're going to continue that when Shizzy comes back tomorrow. But let's now. So that's it. After you do that, you're set up. You're golden. Okay. You'll have the 10,000 USDT paper trading allotment there, and you can use that until you lose it, and then you can start. But let's get into this Bitcoin price action here. Let's see. I'm actually going to use the trading view chart here because I want to show something with this 50 EMA here, 50-day EMA. So this is the 4-hour chart. I really, really love to use the 4-hour chart because I feel like it gives such a good, projection time frame of 2-3 days up to 4 or 5 maybe. But you can see here, we built all this uptrend all the way up. There were some corrections here, but they just really didn't have any longevity, no stamina, right? And you can see we haven't tested the 50-day EMA since October 13th. This is what I initially said on, the intro of the show. So it was bound to happen, right? It was definitely bound to happen. So and the actual 50-day EMA is right in the middle of this, because this is the top and then this is the bottom of the 50-day EMA. So what happened? We tested it today, right? So this is going to give us a lot of information on how we finish off the day today to see if this will continue down. Now, as you can see, if there's ever momentum that breaks below the 50-day EMA, then there's a downtrend that continues after that. Same thing with, if it breaks up above the 50-day EMA, there's typically an uptrend, and that's what we saw as well. Now, I'm still in the camp that believes that we are going to finish October bullish, and I do believe that we break 70,000 before the end of the month. But this is definitely a pullback that was needed. If you take a look here with the support and resistance on the 4-hour, like I said, 2-3 day forecast, you can see that there's a little bit more resistance up in this area than there is support, right? There's stronger resistance all the way up actually until the top right here. So, but it's not dominating, right? So I don't feel like there's going to be like a huge dump that's coming in. So let's switch to the 1 hour to kind of give what the rest of today is going to look like. All right, so for the rest of today, look, it is looking pretty bleak here. You can see the MACD is showing a pretty strong sell down. You see the blue and orange lines are pretty spread open there. And then the stochastics have been in oversold for, I'd say early this morning. So again, this is something that was needed in terms of a pullback. I don't think that this is anything super crazy that brings us down to like 63, 61, anything like that. I just think it's a short pullback. What do you think in terms of maybe some of this price action showing, the sell down momentum?
Yeah, let's get that. Well, first we got Yagobi, you gotta stop selling your Bitcoin. Please hold on to it. I know you're giant whales, so you gotta stop doing that. No, but in all seriousness, I think this is good. Like, it's healthy, right? When you have those trace fast, when you have that pullback, it's really healthy, right? People are taking profits, they're rotating their money. They're probably rotating back into like the Bitcoin eco, runes, ordinals maybe next. So we'll see that specific kind of price action there, which is good. And it's always healthy, right? Like, it's basically like the last shake before the storm. Like, who's ready to ride? Who's ready to hold this? Who's ready to hold this for long term? And just looking at the charts, looking at the resistance, looking at the support lines, like, it's pretty good. It's like really nice structured to the T. So it's like literally fundamentals are there. Everything looks to be solid. And I think before you know it, it's going to go back up to like the 6-9 range and even hit the 70K mark eventually. And I'm on the same camp as you are. I think it'll probably reach an all-time high before the end of October. Yeah,
I agree with you on that. But don't let the market makers flush you guys out and sell your Bitcoin, because this is do whatever you have to do. If you have to pay your rent, you have to buy whatever you have to buy. But this I definitely feel like this is like a market maker kind of trying to hit some stop loss points, and also just a pendulum swing back, right? Because there was liquidity that was grabbed at 69.3, and once it was grabbed there at 69.3, it pulled back. So we did see some smaller pullbacks last week, but this one's a little bit stronger. I do agree with that, but we'll see. The 4 hour is the most important chart, in my opinion. If we break below this, the low part of the 50 EMA, and we start to form a downtrend, that's when we could possibly see further down. But until then, let's just wait and see what happens for the next couple of days. So,
yeah, and one thing to say is it seems to be bouncing off too from that specific line as well. So, pretty much good indicators across the board. I don't think.
Yeah, 100%. You can see right here, it did right here. But this was on the 13th, right? So it kind of started that uptrend. But we'll see if it kind of does something like this. The one thing I will say is that this is the strongest red candle that we've seen so far. So, but hey, like I said, we're in October. We're not going to get out of October. Keep that positive energy going. But yeah. All right, let's continue along here. We're going to get into the roll call. This is one of our favorite parts of the show. You guys showing up every day, along with us showing up every day, is, a formula for success. But let's start. First is first, as always. I have Tim Baker. Mr. Tim Baker says, let's get it. He also put in graveyard because he was second. So he's like, I'm making sure that I'm first there.
Nice.
Yep. Then we got Mr. Hanky says Yagobi and Shizzy time. Let's effing go. Well, it's Yagobi and Fonzie time today. Mr. Chief Axel, one of our longtime community members, met him in Nashville. Awesome dude. We got Yashir, our head mod, says greetings, people. PJNZ says we are the Borg. Do you know what that means?
I don't know what that means. What's the reference?
Cyborg. I think we are the robots. I'm not sure, but that's what I got from it. WebDro says, will Yagobi do the roll call? Well, this is your answer for that. I am doing the roll call.
We see the honey emojis too, which is nice.
Yep. Honey emojis for the hive. Lackey Lukey says, let's go. We got Danny Boy. We got Ordinal Tweets in the house with his brother Ordinal Chips, and they both say Yagobi and Builders.
Let's go.
We got Mempool Punk in the house. We got Batusai. Batusai? Is that how you say that? Batusai?
Batusai. I think it's a samurai. Batusai.
Almost done 71. Yes, you are almost done. You're almost there, man. You're almost there. You're gonna get what you've been working so hard for, hopefully, here in the bull run. Inagi says BitPerp. Yep. So we're gonna start that back up tomorrow. But thank you for the eagerness there. And then we got no in the building. Joko says happy Monday, everyone. We got Dream Bake. He says Shizzy's gone to put Tap Team in the shape. Well,
how do you think the workout's going? The morning workout.
Yeah. Well, they were supposed to have their TGE today. I think that's what they're referring to, and it got postponed. So
got you.
Yep. We got Reziak in the house. We got ASAP Benji, Bitmap Gallery. Rick G says, long live Merlin Mondays. Yes, today is Merlin Mondays. We will have some Merlin teams popping in, but there's some pretty big announcements today, guys. That's makes me really bullish on Merlin chain and the ecosystem there. Choda Satoshi is in the house. We have Mogar the Great, Kilk _ Sixes. We got, let's see, ZK ZK, Zero Knowledge Were, Ali in the house says, I'm here to introduce myself. I'm Mr. Yagobi. All right. Who else we got? We got Fixed in the house. Claudia Yu. Who else? Ichitoshi, our guy. Says GM. Crypto Mr. D. Jules Talbot. He says BitPerp, let's go. Save your BitPerps for tomorrow. John in the house. Sorry, John. Shizzy's not here for you to rag on today, but he will be here tomorrow. Ernesto Gonzalez says Mr. Yagobi. Cyber Rida.
Yo,
and then we got
the goat.
He says Fonzie is the GOAT. You got a fan there.
Right as a goat.
We got Albert Amari. Let's see what this looks like. He wrote a little novel here. I'm not going to read all that, but we will get into the Tap stuff because I know it's about Tap. Ant-Man in the house. We got anybody here on this? Crypto OG Degen, Steamy J, Afro Crypto, Sammy Turnpike. Kai Effect. Kai, man, I was praying for you. I was worried about you during the hurricanes, brother. I'm so glad that you're safe. Obviously, you're here, so I hope there was minimal or no destruction that happened to you and or like your home and all that stuff. So, Patapoo is in the house. Toast in the house. We got Bell's Cat 20. And I think that is it for the roll call. We appreciate every one of you guys showing up for the roll call. It shows your consistency, and that's what we preach every day. So thank you guys.
Yeah, GM to everyone there too. It's pretty cool, like looking at the comments as well. So like doing a live stream comment section, perfect panel, perfect kind of segue there. Yep,
100%. All right, so the title of the show is Bitcoin Ecosystem Builders Ramping Up. The crypto industry is not ready. So the reason why we picked this as the title was because, obviously one of the main narratives that has been talked about in this bull run is the Bitcoin ecosystem kind of building out and stuff like that, and then it's toned down, and then it comes back a little bit. But then, like, you know, you have chains like Solana that has a lot of liquidity, right? You can't deny that, and there's a lot of fast action trading there. And so it looks like some of the investors kind of are pointing a little bit towards that, at the same time looking at Bitcoin in the corner of their eye. But someone like yourself that is a builder in this ecosystem, I feel like, you know, dealing with other builders too, that there's like this kind of hive mentality, no pun intended, but the builders are kind of coming together and saying, hey, look, man, we're building something huge here. If you're going to pass on it now, then you're going to regret later. Could you talk a little bit about your experience with that?
Yeah, like first thing I'll say, builders don't stop building. I think that's number one. Like once you have that conviction, you don't stop building. Second thing is bullish for us, anyone building an eco who's trading Bitcoin in general, because that's less competition for us, right? Like we see the potential of Bitcoin, the potential of DeFi on Bitcoin, and the potential of these assets that have, like, you know, been in existence for almost 2 years now, which is crazy to think about. So like, you know, that there coupled with like that mindset there is just pretty much, you know, very, very good and high conviction play that, you know, most ecosystems, you know, probably don't have. And there's a thing to also say, like, you know, about narratives. Like most people are narrative chasers. Don't be a narrative trader, be a narrative builder. And so, like, you know, the way you do that is by having the conviction early and just like kind of not only manifesting it, but executing that conviction there. So yeah, I think for me, like, you know, the noise is always going to be there. It's something that, you know, is part of the process of journey itself, but sort of minimizing the noise and really just tuning into like what you have to do and achieve, and just building the, you know, whatever protocol or DeFi application you're building for the users, right? And, you know, if you're on Bitcoin, you see the potential, you see sort of like just the approach and just the expansion of just all these protocols in a short time frame. And, you know, it's giving serious competition to other protocols and other platforms in just 2 years' time, which is insane. So I think overall, yes, I mean, other ecosystems would do just fine. I think Bitcoin would do the best, and, you know, we'll see the fruits. Like, you know, we'll see the different builders bear fruit like towards, you know, Q4, Q1 next year, once you have more individuals onboarded, more interest, more eyes, and eventually more VC funding. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, so, you know, like there's a lot of builders and there's like infrastructure that people are trying to build right now. Like, for example, like you have ecosystems like Arch Network, you have stuff like what ICP is trying to do with a network of validators, right? So it's like utilizing layer one, but then, you know, doing some other stuff on the side to finalize like transactions. Do you see those type of ecosystems creating like the trading environment that people want?
I do like there's something to say about trading environment. Like I think people who trade on Bitcoin got used to the way trading is done through a mempool, and sort of like accepted the 10-minute block times. Other ecosystems might not be used to it, and it's very difficult to sort of train a habit, like even redo a habit, right? So like, you know, once you're used to something, like it's very difficult to like navigate into something else. So I think what ICP is doing, that kind of like approach where they want to provide that same environment and mechanisms, like there'll be a market for that, right? I think what Arch Network is doing on layer one is there'll be a market for that too. And I think, you know, when it comes down to it, you have to really look at it from this perspective. Like Bitcoin is about 50% market dominance in all crypto. It's big enough to sustain all these different markets. I think everything is going to be sucked into Bitcoin eventually. Every other ecosystem, every other project would have to have some form of like onboarding process or like some form of connection to the mother chain of all. And you know, you'll see different ecosystems prop up, but I think from a trading standpoint, like you'll see improvements, gradual improvements, of course, especially through L2. But a lot of the L1 processes, or like a lot of the improvements L1 will also manifest accordingly. But it's still like, you know, you still have two different environments to trade, to sort of like navigate and so forth.
Yeah. I wasn't involved with you know, the Ethereum ecosystem back in like 2019, you know, the really early days when it was starting to kind of build out the infrastructure. But I imagine there was probably something similar that was happening in terms of people that were focusing on like projects that were from the IDO phase from the 2017 bull run, and not so much on the Ethereum side, because they're like, they don't even have this built out yet. You know what I mean? Like we don't know how to, so but then we saw what happened right, with Ethereum's infrastructure once it came together. So I think something similar could happen, and we're here for it, right? Like the audience, you know, the 216 people listening right now, and you as a builder and us as you know, media coverage, you know, we're all a part of this. So I feel super lucky that we're here right now, man. I don't know about you, but that's how I feel.
I agree. I agree. Like early, we're definitely early. Like, you know, Bitcoin native assets protocols would do just fine, and there is reason to believe too that when we say like other chains were tested, it's not to diminish them, but it's more of like, yeah, they paved the road for us to like know what to build, eventually build on Bitcoin itself, right? Eventually know like the, you know, kind of stack, the tools, everything necessary, and really think about it is we're doing the ecosystem a favor because there's so much Bitcoin out there, so much liquidity that's untapped, that's unused, that just sits idle in wallets, right? So like, you know, that there is doing a favor to the entire eco, brings more light, brings more liquidity, much more traction, and just overall really it's a net flow, net positive at the end. So yeah, I think I love the direction it's heading towards.
Yeah, exactly. And people are like, well, they don't, those maxis don't want to participate. Oh, they will when Bitcoin's at like 250,000 and
Yeah.
they want to. Believe me, every man has some gambling in them. So we'll see
That's
what
right.
happens.
That's
All
right.
right, let's move on to this next topic. It's a pretty big topic here. You know, TAP protocol was, you know, it was scheduled to have its TGE today, right? A lot of people were waiting for this. They were anticipating. They felt like finally, like, you know, the token's going to launch, and a lot of other builders in the space were saying we're waiting for the TGE to happen, and then we can plan for our TGE or something like that. So it was delayed. No one likes delays, but unfortunately, they did postpone their TGE to the 23rd of October. That's only 2 days from now. So it's not like they're saying, okay, 2 weeks from now, but like someone like you that might be kind of an outside looking into the TAP ecosystem, how do you feel about people that might have been waiting for this? Do you think this is like a big step back for them?
Is it just a 2 day delay, or was it delayed multiple times?
So it was delayed multiple times, but then not recently. Up until this moment, this is it's only 2 days. But before this, it was like I think like maybe like 2 months ago or something like that.
Okay,
but
gotcha.
yeah.
Yeah, I think there's a couple of things to say on this. Like number one, like if it's been delayed, like, you know, it was late 2 months after, it's not that bad. I think most projects delayed their TGEs, and I'll provide more of like the insider founder's perspective and even builder perspective as to why that happens too. 2 days is not a big change. If it was happening today and 2 days later, like that's not good. I think even you should be more bullish because there's anticipation for it, which is always a good signal. There's people talking about it, right? So you should feel happy about that. Like there's noise, right? There's actual noise happening. From a founders and builders perspective, like you want what's best for your eco, for your project, right? These TGEs, like the reason you typically either, you know, kind of postpone your TGEs, you know, many reasons. Number one, maybe you're not ready, which is the case for any projects. Like the infrastructure is not ready, the protocol has not been built yet. There's different things you have to navigate. And that happens most of the time. Second, you also have to look at from the market sentiment and perspective, right? Market sentiment like 2 months ago was pretty bad compared to where it's now. Yeah. Do you think a token would have done very well during that time as someone TGEs? I don't think so. And most of us don't believe that. Like if you launch it during a period of time, and it's very difficult. I'm not saying you got to time the market because you can't time the market. If you time the market, talk to me. Let's go buy some tickets. but yeah, like I think when it comes down to it, like you really have to like do what's best for the community, for the project, and what's best for the community, for the project as a founder, right? You gotta look out for everyone's interest. What's best is to do and make the best decision you possibly can, and that's part of it. TG is part of it, and to launch it during a time where everyone benefits, right? And so there's time for that. There's, you know, kind of announcements that will be made about that. There will be infrastructure that, you know, that causes delay, wherever the case is. But, you know, that's more of the founder's inside perspective. Someone who's outside, like listening to TAP, I think TAP is a great protocol. Their OGs have been here since the very beginning. And, you know, I trust them. Like, you know, if they said they're going to do something, like give you tokens, if you're a user, if you've been like interacting with the protocol, their sort of eco, then I trust that they would do that, right? I think maybe come back to us maybe like, or come back to them like 6 months later down the road when you see this huge run up and everyone benefits, and, you know, basically that tide lifts all boats. So I think that's what I'll say on that there.
Yeah, I think that's a great assessment there. And so there has been whisperings that the reason why they wanted to postpone it a couple of days was because they do have a swap that's going to be released at the same time, as well as a wallet. and they want to make sure that that all is released smoothly along with the TGE event, which makes sense, right? And they're utilizing ICP to be able to make the swap happen. So, you know, it's new innovation with liquidity pools and stuff finalizing on Bitcoin. So I'm okay with a 2-day, you know, delay. Now, if we get to the 23rd and they're like, oh, we need 2 more days, then I think that would probably rustle some more feathers. But let's see what happens. The 23rd's only Wednesday. So I think they, you know, we got to give them a little bit of slack here on that.
Yeah, and to say, and that's, and again, like goes back to your main reason why people delay is like protocol in your foot build. Like you want to have a place where you can trade this token, right? You want to have a place where you can store this token to a wallet to store it as well, and so build that infra. So I totally see this happening. Like it takes time to build quality products, and like you should be bullish on those who like not only not only delivering is one thing. You want to execute and deliver, right? But like, you know, you want to build a quality product, and that's, you know, just nature of it takes time. Like you can't build something like the next week. It's very difficult. At least a quality, you know, product that you're trying to achieve. So yeah, I think it's pretty reasonable. You definitely want to have a place to trade this asset. You want to have a place to like store it. So I can see why.
Yep. Exactly, 100%. So they were supposed to launch with KuCoin today, but that's going to be postponed to the 23rd as well. So this is just extra information here. So guys, the token will launch on the 23rd, and with that, the wallet and the swap should be launched as well. So that should be exciting. All right, moving along here. So this one's a little bit out of the layer 1 ecosystem. It has to do with Cat 721. So Locked Up Cats is the first Cat 721 collection. So that's the name of the collection, Locked Up Cats. I guess they're prisoners or something. It says it's created by the official Cat protocol team. So that's also interesting. It says OKX will receive 1,500 to 2,000 cats, but will need to lock up 100 cat tokens for each NFT for promotion giveaway. So you're looking at, how much is that? 100 cat tokens. Let's say they do 2,000. Yeah, so 200,000 cat tokens with a total supply of 21 million. I don't know. Like, do you think this is a cool mechanism that they're using, kind of locking up the cat token to receive this NFT? How do you feel about this?
I think it's a good staking mechanism. I think it can pave the way for more people to do this. I think OKX being involved is always a good sign. So I gotta look into this more just to kind of like see what's going on here. But just from first impressions, you know, whenever you have like this kind of mechanisms, this type of like individuals involved, this kind of backing, it's always a good sign, right? It's always a good signal. And also adoption wise too, like people are starting to like love, you know, the OP. There's more adoption I see from the OP cat or like cat at least in general. So that there's a rippling great signal effect. So
yeah. So cat to me is a little weird because like it's a new token standard that's on Fractal, but then like everybody's bullish on Glizzy because like we all hold Glizzy. How do you feel about that whole thing? Like, you know, Cat 20, BRC20, Glizzy. Like, are you bullish on both?
Oh man, that's a good question. I think there's some, you know, I was in the camp where I was like, you know, BRC20s would do fantastic, would do well. Glizzy is a really good one. I think Glizzy has like the mnemonics
community.
Is it mnemonics? Economics, mnemonics, whatever the phrase they're using, mnemonics. I can't even pronounce it, but anyways, it has great economics for a meme, right? Like people are backing it. It has like the tweets, the individuals behind it. I think it's good. Being Cat 20 is also very bullish because people are really excited about this new standard. And you know, just talking more with you guys, like I think the fact that you can transfer these specific Cat 20s from Fractal to Bitcoin down the road in the future, it's always nice. I think it's really nice to have. So I think there's something to say about Glizzy. First time I saw Glizzy, I thought of Shizzy, right? so that was,
Shizzy Glizzy. Shizzy Glizzy.
So it definitely has that appeal.
Gotcha. Yeah. For me, I think it's, you know, innovative to have the Cat 20 token. But I think Pizza Swap's added some features recently with withdrawals, and people have been adding LP to Pizza Swap. And so that has increased the TVL for sure. So it's going to be exciting to see how those kind of link together in the future.
Yeah, I agree. And something tells me it would do they'll probably go very, very well. Like someone will figure it out. I don't know who it will. Maybe you Yogobi, maybe you can figure out Yogobi. You'd be like, let's figure this out. How to like improve the entire standard. But yeah, if we make bullish BRC20s, then we're in a good spot. BRC20s need to be bullish. We gotta bring them back. What's going on there?
Yeah. I mean, it's Fractal and Unisat's job, I think, and we'll see. I still have stuff on the layer 1 swap, so I need to get out honk. I'm honking like almost a billion sat. I'm like, come on, Unisat, let's get it going. But all right,
Yeah.
Next thing here, Orzard, our friend Nakib, the founder of Orzard, has a major announcement. The Zard launch is officially happening on the 24th of October. So that's in 3 days. That's a big launch for a Runes token for a platform that's, being a lot more utilized than maybe some people initially thought.
Yo, like I remember I remember when Orzard started getting traction, it was about this time last year. People were just minting stuff like connections, collections stuff. Like it was a very decent mint. Everything that was minted there, like traded afterwards was 10, 20, 30x. I remember those times. So yeah, I think they've come a long way, and I think this is probably one of those major OG platforms with a token launch that's happening very, very soon. So you should definitely keep an eye out for this one.
Yeah. So so this is interesting because I feel like the builders that have been here for a while, like for example, you guys, Ordzar, like Jeff and people like that, like, but the ones that haven't like launched their token yet or whatever, right? Like they deserve that moment, in my opinion, because they weren't somebody that came and built something and then in a month later says, hey, we're doing IDO or TGE, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which there's a lot of teams like that are literally, I guess that's the kind of a telltale of like money grab, right? But like if you have someone like yourselves or Ordzar that have been building without a token or anything like that, just trying to build a business really, and I think they deserve a moment like this. So I'm super happy for them. Ordzar was a platform that started with like no free no fees and all that types of stuff. Eventually they do charge some fees because they have to sustain and stuff like that, but super happy. So the 24th of October, guys, is when that launch is happening. And if you paid attention, you could have actually won spots to get 420 Zard tokens because they gave us an allocation of 100 of those. So 100 of our community won.
420. That reminds me. It's 420 sounds so familiar. What's 420 from? It sounds so.
I think it has something to do with flowers or something and how like they smell good. I'm not sure.
I gotta do some research on this.
They make you feel really relaxed and stuff. The flowers, yeah.
We should look at those flowers.
All right. Next up here, we're getting close to the end of the hour, guys. It is Merlin Monday, so we will have Jeff from Merlin Chain in. But this is. Are you laughing at the title here?
The no monkey. I was in the trenches when I heard about this. I was like wondering what happened here.
Yeah. So let's read it out here. Breaking. Someone just inscribed all 10,000 byte perfect Nodemonks images in a single 3.93 megabyte transaction using parent-child provenance and airdrop them to OMB and Quantum Cat holders. So like, what is the objective here? First of all, do you think this was Raktoshi? Do you think this was anybody from like the Nodemonks team, or was this like a troll?
The fact that it's just OMB Quantum Cat holders seems like a troll.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, like, what's the angle? What's the objective? I think the first time I heard about this was when Alpha Gamer tweeted out something like, "Hey, I just got airdropped this No Monkey stuff," and I was like, is he troll? Does his account get hacked or something? Like, what's going on here? But no, apparently like they did this, and maybe this sparks like the second cycle of people being airdropped these like collection or stuff like the RSIC based on like whatever NFT you hold or ordinal you hold. So we'll see, but I definitely lean towards troll, just the fact that OMB Quantum Cat holders are the only ones who's got this, which I'm kind of jealous about.
They're like, hey, have our children. You can have our children.
Exactly. It would be funny if that children is worth more than their OMB Quantum Cat in the future.
Yep. And dude, that would be hilarious. That would be hilarious. I'm pretty big on Nodemonks, or I do feel like recently they've lost some steam a little bit. Just maybe because the puppets always like end up dropping something like Gizmo that was huge. Like it did very well, and it's still doing pretty well. And then you always have like 10 other derivatives right after that. But it's always that first one that you got to catch. So, I think Nodemonks come back up, but we'll see. All right, couple other things here need to get into before we start Merlin Mondays. So Bell's coin, Bell's chain is a part of, in my opinion, the Bitcoin ecosystem because it's a part of the UTXO ecosystem, right? Yeah. And you have Bell's coin jumping up like in price, pretty crazy. It says Bell's coin is quickly approaching the banana zone. I didn't know banana zone for individual coins existed, but yeah, it hit the banana zone. Let's see what price it is right now, but it got up to like $1.70, man. That was pretty nuts. Are you into the Bells ecosystem right now? It's at $1.44, so it did pull back. But are you into Bells at all, or not really?
So I'm not into Bell ecosystem. I know about Bells. I've heard about it. My first exposure to like Bells officially was last year when people were talking about. I think the Ordinals Wallet team was kind of talking about Bells and sort of like kind of there was a run up. There was like it was like a Dogecoin's counterpart, or like the first official meme token. That's as far as I know. If that's the case, then it's pretty bullish. Like I think their all-time high was like 270. They were at 145. So if more people catch on to this quickly, I think there can be some noise here. But yeah, the banana zone, that's the first time I hear about that too. So maybe that's a good signal.
Yeah. Usually banana zone is kind of like when Bitcoin hits that banana zone and then like maybe pulls back a little bit of dominance and then alts take off, right? So yeah, I don't know. I'm pretty bullish on it in terms of like, if there is truly a meme super cycle, like this has the story lore all over it, right? It was like the first coin that was created by the founder of Dogecoin, and then he abandoned that. And the first wallet's name was Nintendo, right? And then Nintendo wallet, and then they had to change it to Nintendo. And so there's a lot of funny stuff to it, but we'll see what happens here. But we do have Jeff kind of waiting down below us, but this is the last bit of news right here. Foxy block drop is going to be happening soon. So if you do have a bit miner at all, any range of bit miners, doesn't matter how rare or like common it is, you will get a lightsaber block drop to you, and you can use that in the clan wars. And they have a knife that is defaulted as a weapon, and it takes 3 slashes to kill somebody, but with the lightsaber you literally cut them in half.
I love it. We're gonna get this.
Yeah, so it's a part of the Foxy the Foxy Clan Wars game. But yeah, they're gonna do a block drop, and then eventually it'll probably go on secondary market. But I think that's pretty cool. So for the audience that's listening in, if you do have a bit miner, then you will get a lightsaber for the block drop there.
Yeah, there's another reason to get bit miner there. You want to make sure you slash through with one go.
100%. But all right, let's see here. Let me make sure I got the right banner here. That's it. Okay. It is officially Merlin Monday. We are gonna bring Jeff up to kind of give some updates of the ecosystem. So let's bring Jeff up to the stage. How are you doing, sir?
Yo, what's up, guys?
Yo, GM Jeff.
Not much. Trying to see what's going on with Bitcoin. Bitcoin had a pullback today, but you think we're okay or we're heading back down?
I don't know. I never predict. I mean, as long as we know you'll eventually be, 100K, 200K, anything happen between that doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I agree. What were you gonna say, Fozzie?
I was gonna say we're definitely more towards a long-term mindset. We're like we already have our price predictions 10 years down the road, so like any short-term price action doesn't really affect that.
Yep. For sure. All right, Jeff, we know that you're obviously super busy all the time. But like, there was some I don't know if it was a leak or just a straight announcement, but it was on the eastern side of things. But it seems like there's something going on with the Merle token and stuff like that. If you could maybe just update the audience and the community on the latest updates with Merlin Chain and the ecosystem.
We're having an upgrade with the AA wallet, the Particle wallet. So basically, if you have the Particle wallet, which means you log in with Xverse or Unisat or OKX wallet, you can have this kind of function, to use Merle token as the gas fee. Basically, that will be much easier for users to trade because we're going to have some huge campaigns coming. Guys, we're going to have some huge campaigns. So at that time, we believe there's going to be lots of transactions. So right now, if you bridge Bitcoin, to layer 2, you have to wait for like an hour or so. Some people might not catch the alpha, right? So now it's going to be easier. Just have some Merle in your wallet, or just buy them from Bybit, OKX from the exchange. Withdraw them to your wallet. It normally takes like 1 or 2 minutes, much less, like less than 5 minutes. So you can have that token in your wallet. You can start trading. You can start swapping. You can start minting. You can start doing anything. So I think that will lower the barrier for the users, and of course that will grant utilities to the Merle token. So yeah, but we haven't announced anything yet. But I guess the upgrade was was seen from users, so they post this. But yeah, I think there are going to be some campaigns about Merle as gas kind of concept. So yeah, that's the first thing. And the campaign we're talking about, so I think the first campaign we're going to have is lots of our D apps right now, they are launching their Telegram mini apps. And also, we're working with some major wallets to have a co-marketing campaign. We're aiming to get millions of users, at least 10 million users, millions of users. We're preparing millions of dollars incentives, such as Bitcoin, stablecoin, Merle, of course, to incentivize outside users to understand Bitcoin. Basically, bring Bitcoin to 1 billion user, bring Bitcoin assets, ordinals, ruins. BRC20 to 1 billion user is our ultimate goal. I'm not saying 1 billion today, but it's the ultimate goal there. So I think we're doing lots of things there. We've been talking a lot about the Telegram DApps, and now the community can see what's going on with this.
Yeah. Telegram I think is such a underutilized ecosystem with users, but now this board, and I feel like the ecosystems over here are realizing that, right? So would these mini apps be something similar to like what we've possibly seen before? For example, like I've seen AI tools kind of create some sort of like mini app or way to utilize their AI tool within their Telegram chat. Would it be something similar to that?
Yeah, I mean, there will be lots of different like kinds of DApps, but I mean, if you are in the Telegram, basically you can do anything. You can use AI to do you can have a bot to trade for you, to mint for you. You can have like all kinds of different social games. You can do swaps there. Basically, we want everyday user can do trades on chain easier, because right now if you want to do trade, you have to go on desktop. You have to get the wallets. It's gonna be hard for everyday user. So yeah, I think all kinds of utilities, the apps will be there. But yeah, we will see.
Yeah, Fonzie, what about you? Any perspective on utilizing Telegram for onboarding kind of Web 2 mentality users?
Telegram is so. I mean, just like I think everyone here knows, and people in the comments and watching, Telegram is heavily used in crypto, right? Everyone uses Telegram. Everyone's on there. They provide a very optimal user experience. I think using that sort of Web 2 UI, sort of like flow, and add some elements of blockchain is a really good, smart move. I know there's like sniping bots, there's like different stuff that people have done using Telegram itself, and I think it'll be more adopted. And it could provide like that sort of audience in a very faster, seamless way. It's like a very, shortcut way to kind of introduce more Web2 people into like the Web3 space. And I'm curious more on how it will be used and sort of done down the road. But I think it's good. I think overall it's good. Like, if it provides users, it provides, builders an opportunity to like build on there and even, shed more light to Bitcoin eco, then I think it's always a positive.
Yeah, I think talking about Telegram and Web3, I think there are three different kinds of models or strategies that builders are using. The first one is purely for Web3 users. So you're a Web3 user, you know everything about chain, you know everything about meme tokens, whatever, and you hire a bot there. So it's gonna be more convenient for Web3 users because even I'm a Web3 user, so I'm not on my computer every day, 24/7. So this is like the first strategy. The second one is to create something that doesn't even belong to the current Web3 users. So I launch a meme. This meme is about, I don't know, like me singing karaoke with guys online every day. It depends on how much time you spend there, and you get a fair share of token. And millions of users come there. They create this meme. They get the tokens. It got listed. So it's a fully new asset. They don't need any current Web3 users. So they just do this. And the third way, I think right now, a lot of people are doing is to like, I call it like a merge. So basically, they introduce the concept from Web3, like this meme token, this launchpad, this NFT, all of this, and they bring both sides of users. So there are some core users from the community, and also they kind of do marketing, branding, they do fractionizing, they do incentives, airdrops to get more users to be interested in this kind of token. So just like I will make a city example. So just imagine you do a ruins token launch. You cut 20%. You cut 20% out of the full circulation. You give that 20% to like 5 million users, and these users they get to know about ruins for the first time of their lives. And they they enrich your community with lots of voices from all over the world, and also the still 80% of the token goes to the the OG the core users of Bitcoin. So I call that this as a merge. I think all of these strategies might work, but yeah, it's like Telegram is so early right now as well. So let's see what can happen next.
Yeah, I agree 100%. And I think this approach is going to make the mini apps like probably like 100 times more better in terms of like the usability, the UX, even just the UI, like design of them. If there's a capability to do so, right? Because when you have like these crypto teams kind of investing into this thing, they want it to be the best looking and all that stuff versus kind of just like, oh, we are AI project and we use Midjourney, you just prompt it this way or whatever, right? So I think it's going to change the game completely in terms of like how Telegram will be utilized with Web3. But at the same time, Web3 builders being very strategic with making the non-Web3 users feel like they're not even using crypto in a sense. So
yeah, and also sorry, I think I talked too much, but two more things to add here is first, I think Telegram users love Bitcoin, because first, Bitcoin is very well known around the world. These people probably don't know Base or AppChain, but they know Bitcoin. And also because Telegram considers themselves kind of competing with Ethereum, I guess, like Solana, right? So if they do anything, they want liquidity to be Bitcoin. They don't want Ethereum to be their major liquidity. So that's first. Second thing is there are very, very few Bitcoin builders in Telegram area. So it's a blue sea. It's like I didn't see any builder, from Bitcoin to do kind of, stuff on Telegram. So if you like, you can see like lots of Ton apps, Ethereum apps, even, Solana apps or centralized exchange wallets. You see like thousands of, great projects, they are competitors, but none of them is from Bitcoin. So right now, if you enter that kind of, area, you'll be the first one to be there and you will get, as much volume, or like you'll be the head, of that kind of, that track of Bitcoin track on Telegram. So I think that is very important.
yeah, that's a good point. because they might not recognize like the base logo and stuff, or oh, we're a builder on base, but they definitely recognize, oh, we're a Bitcoin builder, and they'll be like, oh, Bitcoin, So that's a good point there. All right, Jeff. There's other stuff that's also happening, right? I don't know how much you're able to talk about it, but I saw a post about Masari, right? And that collaboration. Could you go into that a little bit?
Yeah, so I think one of the major problems with Merlin is we start too fast. So people heard of Merlin in February, which when we launched the mainnet, uh, like other projects, they kind of like they do marketing, branding for like a year or so. They do testnet for half a year and then do mainnet. So all these research agencies and institutions have time to to understand what is going on with them. But when Merlin came out, like very few people from the West understand what's going on here. But I think the good thing right now is because we launched for more than half a year, we have legit users, we have legit volumes, we have zero security issues. So lots of these agencies are starting to pay attention to Merlin chain, because they look around, find the Bitcoin layer 2, they find Merlin. So Mastery is not the only agency writing research report for us. There are lots of other more agencies doing it at the same time. And I just heard from Mastery, I think they're going to write another research paper probably months later to update what's going on, because like this one is kind of old. All this information is kind of old. Like they are kind of slow on the information, but yeah, I think they will catch other things later. So yeah, I think that's a good sign to get this kind of exposure in all the world, and also most important in these professional institutions. That is important for any public chain to do so.
Yeah, and they have like 300, almost 400,000 followers, so that's definitely a good,
Yeah, I think Master is like one of the top, like one of the best research agency, if not the best.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's great. I think that's huge, huge, huge. The last thing that I have for you is, the builders. There's builders that like I would love to get on Merlin Mondays, but like I know they're kind of in a different like focus right now in terms of like where they are with launching and stuff like that. And so, is there any builders that you're excited about that maybe the overall Bitcoin community doesn't know about that is coming to Merlin or will be building on Merlin?
Yeah, I think there's some. First we finished the batch 1 hackathon with One Piece Lab and Franklin Templeton. VC, and I think Fonzie is in that batch 1 as well. So first we are doing 2 hackathons right now, and also we're like we said, we are when we do the Telegram campaign, you guys will see some new DApps coming to Merlin. So I think for the infras right now, it's kind of we don't need infras anymore because we have lending, right? We have swaps, and all of them are still doing like dedicated work and providing liquidity. So I think right now we need application. We need real application that users use on daily basis. No matter it's pump fund kind of stuff, or it's poly market, or it's a new version of perp trading. But yeah, I think we will have more applications for users. So you don't go there just to buy assets. You go there to have fun, to do some different stuff.
Yeah. And I know one project is BTC That Fun, and they're not only launching on Merlin, but Merlin is one of the areas that they will be having exposure with. Shizzy and I created a tutorial on how to, I guess, get into the raffle of their giveaway. They're doing something for like the dog token, but also donations for like actual dogs in need, right? Shelter dogs and stuff like that. So that is actually kind of falls in line with what you're saying, like real life application. I know some people try to do the philanthropy thing before in 2021, but it was all BS. I remember like I was in a coin, and then like it was like, oh, we're doing this for the environment to plant trees, and then like 2 weeks later their website was down. You know what I mean? So like this is different. This is something that I think is going to be huge, and they focus on layer 1 assets. So that's something that I know is coming as well. But Fonzie, did you have any questions at all for Jeff? Because I know I've been talking the whole time.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Great questions, good stuff. I think Telegram is one thing to say. I think one thing I'll say is how do you see Telegram playing out like down the road? Do you see them as being sort of an L2 on Bitcoin as well? Do you see them, kind of like being interoperable with different L1s? I guess want your perspective on that, Jeff, and then seeing how you kind of not only use like their users but also their infrastructure, right? How can we leverage their infrastructure, like builders like ourselves, to kind of play there as well?
Yeah, I think lots of people have some ideas what's going on Telegram, but not the full picture. So I won't go into some details right now. So first, Telegram mini apps is not belong to anyone, or belong to like Telegram or Town Network. It's a website. They call themselves a mini app, but it's like HTML, right? So basically, you can build this HTML on all kinds of applications. I know there's somebody having millions of users on Telegram right now. They are doing this on TikTok as well, and also online. So it's a website. It's You are not building on Telegram. You are using Telegram's API to do different things. So what kinds of API you are using? First, of course, you are using their social graph. So when you do some task there, it's going to be much easier for users to share. So like if you do this and you share this to like 3 of your friends, you will get like 100 points. It's going to be much easier to do that. And also the API are open source. So you can actually build your native app on App Store, on Google Play, but also using the Telegram APIs. So I think that is a great thing because they have this kind of huge social network, but also they open source everything to the builders. So if you're building something there, on day 1, on day 2, you can build that on native apps. You can build that on TikTok, online. You can, it's a first stop. You do the apps for massive adoption, but it's not the final stop. So people are saying, how can Telegram support different chains? They like I said, you build a website there, you log in with OKX wallet or Trust wallet or Metamask. You basically support every chain. You support every new chain, every old chain. You can do whatever you want. There's no restrictions there. I think the only hard part is how to do the fiat on ramp and ramp with users. So if you're Web2 users, you have credit cards. But right now, the good thing is there are thousands of different companies doing fiat ramp and on ramp with US regulated agencies. So you can do it with Apple Pay, you can do it with credit cards. So I think everything is like at the start right now, but I think everyone, no matter you're building on Bitcoin or Merlin or Solana or Ethereum, whatever, you should look into this. It's like smartphones, right? Like when you have smartphones in 2010, everyone should be building there. It doesn't matter what kinds of product you have right now. You have to enter this new ecosystem.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. That's actually the goal, in my opinion, is to make it seem like like a smartphone. Like you don't really care, like how the app is like working, but it works, and there's a monetary exchange, and you don't care. You know what I mean? And so I think at the end of the day, that's the goal, and I'm excited to see it because I think like in the Bitcoin ecosystem, Merlin's definitely leading the way with that. I think that's all the questions that I have for you, Jeff. I don't know if you probably have a meeting to jump onto next, or if you can hang out a little bit. It's up to you.
Yeah. I just donated 10 shares to the BTC fund, so I'm about to write a tweet about that. So yeah, you guys talk first, and I can finish my tweet.
Nice.
Awesome. Yeah, so Fonzie, I'm actually going to go to you next because even though you're my co-host for the day, you're also
Perfect.
a builder
Yeah.
in the Merlin ecosystem. For the audience that is new to Ordinal Revolution, Ordinal Hive is a project that is a marketplace for ordinals, an aggregator marketplace. So you're going to be able to find the cheapest ordinals on layer 1 and layer 2 because they're going to bring aggregation as well to Merlin. If you could, Fonzie, just kind of update the audience on what's been going on from layer 1 and on Merlin as well.
Perfect. Yeah, so our phase 2 is literally underway itself. We added a couple updates. So we have updates. You can now use Orange Wallet. You can use Magic Game Wallet. You can also use Leather Wallet on the platform. So at the top of Unisat and Express, we have different options. OKX will be a next integration for that itself. And then we also added a filter for specific activity section as well as traits. You can filter through traits, which is a pretty cool play as well. Later down the road, we'll have the ability where you can sort of like bid on these traits and sort of like do that as well. But phase two will be the aggregation of mempool. So seeing listings, seeing stuff in the mempool itself, and offering that sort of extra layer for a trader of like, kind of stack protection, and kind of going that route too. And, kind of working things out in the mempool where we see like a lot of the activity will be done and will be in place, especially as we approach a much more higher environment of demand for these assets. And then for the modeling side of stuff, campaign still going on. We'll announce that more sort of like the focal point for that and sort of align ourselves in that realm. And a lot of it will come down to like, once we have the aggregation on the L2 side, especially on Merlin Chain, we'll aggregate data across different platforms that exist there. So you'll see the listings, you'll see like the lowest listed assets across the board. You'll be able to buy it through a platform itself and kind of like use that to engage on that level there. So pretty good development. And then Telegram is something that, I know Jeff has been discussing this for the past couple of weeks. So it's something we're eyeing as well and seeing how we can leverage that sort of ecosystem of those users there to your platform and drive more traffic here to Ordinal Hive. So yeah, all in all, it's pretty good. Definitely a good build, a fun build, very, very heavy, but I think one that's going to definitely set us, kind of set us apart and relay the foundation for like the next couple of months.
Yeah, so Ordinal Hive, I think the objective was a really large goal, right? Because you obviously have competition, but you had to think of how can we make ourselves unique, right? And I think aggregation was huge, but also not just that. Can you speak on the benefits of like the analytics and metrics that you guys allow everyday users to have access to?
Yeah, there's something to say on that too. Like for the pro trader, like one thing even I too is like what's being bought up that very second. What are people going into? What's driving, like which collection is driving the most volume, engagement, all this stuff, those kind of metrics, very, very, very important. And so we'll have that. We'll have the data feed on there too. And we'll have ways you can manage it. So like all of it will be very self-intuitive and like it will give you access to like more insight in terms of the rent pool and what's happening there. So in general, like, data drives decisions, right? I think data is very, very important. I think data with AI is even better. And so I'll just hint at that. I'll leave it there. I won't say too much about that.
Alpha.
But yeah, I think next phase and the next phase after that will be very integral, like very pivotal in this moment too. But like how traders have more insight into the market as a whole and just drive better decisions as well.
Yeah, and I mean, I think that was the whole goal, right? It was like, okay, like a marketplace is great, but like what can give the everyday user a little bit of an edge that other marketplaces might not have, right? And I think that's what I'm seeing here. I'm going to share my screen real quick with you and see if you can kind of guide me to where I can access that that data. So if I go to collections here, and let's say I go to should I go to Bitmap?
Yeah, I think it's better if we go to the Bitcoin one. So we're still working on this one here.
Oh, wait, okay, so there we go.
And then
so connect here.
Perfect.
How am I not whitelisted? I know I'm whitelisted.
Yeah, you should be.
Unless you didn't. Oh, that's why. I know why. Okay, cool. Let me connect. I had my other address up.
Okay, you had the well wallet, the one with lots of Bitcoin on it.
Yeah, the one that I can't show anybody any of it because if someone's gonna try to kidnap me, I'm just kidding. Okay, so I'm logged in here. I go to collections.
Go to the Bitcoin section. So back to the homepage. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we might have to work that out so not confuse people. And then
that's so weird because I could have sworn I signed in this one. Okay.
There you go.
All right. So which one should I click on?
You can click on that one. Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, and so we have that interface now. On the activities panel, like you'll have activities there, but on where you see the items holders activities, you also have analytics insights, and you'll have insights across the board. So like kind of daily trends, buyers, liquidity, all this stuff that you can sort of navigate and sort of have a better like assessment, and even assess like how many of these angels are in the mempool, how many are being traded at that time, right? That kind of stuff is crucial, especially when it comes to like developing a much more robust, kind of just trading environment, trading platform, right? So it's at the forefront, like for sure, it's at the foundation of it. And yeah, I think these angels, like, I mean, I kind of like the angels. I like the fact that they were just like bid it up to like 2K almost, right?
Dude, I don't
Um,
know why they're like on fire. They look just like the Miladies.
that's exactly why. Actually, I spoke to I spoke to people there. Like they're accepted. They're accepted within that eco, with the Retardios, like Milady's eco, like that. That's part of like their official like connection as well. So yeah, I think a lot of it is driven to that. And then if you go to like the collections, click on collections at the very top, yeah, you can see sort of the activity. So if you click on activity itself, we'll have a lot more better metrics. But if you click on that arrow there to kind of like bring it down,
This one?
yeah, yeah, you can see sort of the metrics as well, which will be more robust. You can show more, but you'll see which collections are being traded the most at the end of it. And base angels, like you can see the pending buys, you'll see like that kind of thing will be visible, and a lot of it will come down to, after the second build, like we'll be rolling out more stuff to it. But yeah, that kind of visualization sort of data is crucial. It's key, right? You want to know what's in that block itself, and even access those transactions, so you can potentially either snipe your way into it or protect yourself from others.
Gotcha. Yeah. So this is kind of, and that's why I really like the features, because I feel like it does help the everyday trader, right? And on the Merlin side, I know there's some objectives to get because there's quite a bit. There's like I think we counted. I can't remember how many inscriptions, but like tens of thousands of inscriptions over there. So once those get added, you guys will be able to have this data as well, right?
Yeah, exactly. And that's the aggregation part. That's the aggregation layer too. So like a lot of it, you'll see sort of like stuff happening on the L2, especially as Jeff launches campaigns. You'll see like what's being used, what's being traded. Kind of having like the best pricing, like find the best pricing, the best assets priced in any marketplace in one center, which is always really good. So yeah, all that there will like help just the average trader kind of have better decision making and overall unify the entire marketplace as well.
100%. So like the aggregation obviously on layer 1 is like Magic Eden. I don't know if you guys are doing Orzard, but whatever else you're doing, right? On the layer 2, it'd be like Unicross, it'd be BRC 420, it'd be those kind of marketplace element and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm super excited for that as well. Once you add that, but awesome, man. You guys are rocking right along. I feel like this is really great. Like everything is leading up perfectly to this bull market. The onboarding with Telegram for Merlin, the new dApps, the SATs, the BTC fund, the Sats pump fund, or not Sats pump fund, but other pump fund stuff, new dexes as well, and stuff like that. So,
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to bring the last guest up. It is going to be Mr. J. He is an integral part of the Merlin ecosystem with Unicross. Unicross is not just a bridge, guys. It is a NFT marketplace, ordinal marketplace, a runes bridge, a runes converter, there's so many things that Unicross does, man. Literally, like, I have converted my bitmaps into the bitmap token using Unicross, and it was so simple. But Mr. J, how are you doing, sir?
Yo, GM, what's up, guys?
What's going on?
GM.
Yo, I was just salivating listening to all this alpha by Fonzie and Jeff, and hearing about TG apps. We're thick we're in the thick of it. Like even right now, doing some building with Telegram apps, like literally right now. So yeah, I'm excited to talk to you guys more about it. And I'm not sure how much I can share right now because we really want a really explosive start to this Telegram app. But all I can say is that, yeah, just echoing what Jeff is saying, like there's so much that we can do with Telegram apps. And before building on Telegram apps, I honestly just had very limited exposure. I looked into it a few times, went to some events, and just saw like the energy of the people there. And I was thinking like, you know, well, it'd be cool if we could do something on Telegram. And now we really are building something for it. And it's crazy, you know, like just how simple a design can be, and how simple that the UI can be. But there's just so much to gain from that in terms of like the project founders, project team, and also from the users themselves. You know, they're actually learning something new about Bitcoin. They can actually learn what mining is about, you know, wink wink, and what all these functions that we have on Bitcoin are about. So very excited to extend actually what we're building, and I'm honored that Merlin is providing a lot of like support with his campaign and all these upcoming events that we'll be having as well.
Yeah, I love how you sneak that little alpha indicator wink wink in there. But you know, like honestly, like whenever I was hearing about the Telegram development and stuff, and I know that you guys kind of approach this as like an ecosystem together. I was like, how could Unicross like utilize Telegram? Because you guys do so many things. You're like a very, very efficient Swiss Army knife, right? Because you know, you can transfer ordinals into tokens, you can bridge, you can you know, aggregate, you can, there's so many things you guys can do. And I know there's information that you can't give away, but has it been difficult? I guess I could ask you that. Has that been difficult to kind of hone down how to create like a Telegram mini app for Unicross?
So I think the difficulty comes in a few parts. Number one, you know, we are an asset management hub with like Inscribe, Bridge, Launch, and Marketplace, and also Phantom. So how do we compress all of that down into something that is bite-sized for people who are actually new to Bitcoin, or actually new to crypto? And I think one of the best ways that we started off, you know, is that we are building on Bitcoin, and Bitcoin itself is something that people can relate to rather than, you know, say Ethereum or Solana, because people know crypto Bitcoin. So that's their first entry. And when you have something like Bitcoin and Bitcoin assets being offered to people, they'll be more incentivized, I would say, and more accepting to learn more about it, because this is something that they've heard about before, compared to some other chains which may not have been around for like almost 10 years, right? So moving in this direction and just thinking about how we're going to bring our utilities to these people without overloading them with information, that was a challenge, but I think we've gotten that down already. And how to onboard the next billion users. You know, we probably start with like 1 million, and then 10 million, 100 million, and then go to 1 billion, right? So just these little baby steps in the beginning, with some rewards systems, and allowing these people to just have a taste of what the Bitcoin ecosystem is about. And then maybe when they are more ready in terms of like knowledge and financial means, maybe through what we've been offering, then they can learn more and more about Bitcoin and how to actually, you know, participate in this ecosystem that we have. You know, there's always this perception that, oh my God, Bitcoin, you know, it's like 60, 70K, and then, you know, it's very expensive to be on, it's very expensive to operate. But that's not really the case. There's a lot of ways you can interact with it, taking in from layer twos like Merlin. You know, there is this lower barrier to entry in terms of like learning curve. It's much easier than, you know, learning a whole UTXO based chain, but it's a good start, and it's, I would say, the first step for people to actually experience Bitcoin ecosystem.
Yeah, you know, one thing that sticks out to me when you were talking was the fact, all I could think about is, you know, my grandmother, she passed away recently. But when she was alive, she knew what Bitcoin was. You know what I mean? And you know, it that like really rung true to me when you brought that up, because Web 2 users that have no clue about DeFi or anything else, if they see that B in the circle, they're like Bitcoin. They know, you know. So and I think that like that's where like the opportunity is with Telegram users, honestly, because yes, there is a bunch of crypto Telegram users, but there's like so much more non-crypto Telegram users in this world in terms of gaming or just communication and stuff like that. So I'm actually getting more and more bullish about this approach of onboarding. And I don't know any other Bitcoin ecosystem that's being this aggressive with it. So I don't know, Fonzie, you might need to get a little side dev team together to start putting together your Telegram app.
We're hiring now, so let's get it together. And I think yeah, I think there's something to say true to that. Like people, it's mindshare is important, right? Like having mindshare is a really good thing to do, and Telegram offers that. Like, you know, people could like it's crazy because I've seen applications built on Telegram, and the experience is phenomenal. It's like incredible experience, right? Better than what we've seen so far. On DeFi applications, like on different ecosystems, there's chains that can easily onboard the Web2 community. So, like, that's a really good avenue. And, you know, at the end, like, you know, that mindshare is important. It plays out, and I think, you know, it'll do very, very well. I think, you know, the fact that you guys are pushing towards the Telegram is definitely making me bullish, and even considering like doing that expediting the process there as well.
Dude, I'm happy to, like, you know, share some experiences that we have, and also you know, I'm just a call away, bro. So yeah, it's pretty exciting, to say the least, to go into this, I would say, the newer kind of like way of onboarding people, and newer way of letting people be exposed to these functions that we have on Bitcoin and Bitcoin layer 2. So yeah, I'm always happy to help. Sorry, I've been, you know, really busy. We haven't been chatting much, but yeah, dude, always a call away, bro.
Just fucking do it. Listen to Mr. J. Oh, I actually said the F word. Hopefully we don't get canceled on YouTube. But yeah,
No.
let's
You
do
said
it.
you said freak. He said
Yeah.
freak. To be clear,
I say let's
Let's
freak
get
out.
our freak on.
Yeah, let's get with cameras on too.
Oh, I don't know about that, but anyhow, no, but like I absolutely think that's you know, we got to think about something about the Bitcoin ecosystem. You know, even layer one, us, we love it because we love Bitcoin, we love innovation, we love that this ecosystem is growing. But if you look at the numbers, the onboarding isn't growing at an exponential fast rate. So you got to think about ways to onboard. Yes, it still will be strong narrative heading into the bull market, but the ecosystems that are focusing on onboarding the masses are the ones that are going to win, in my opinion. So that's why I think like this approach and some other approaches too. And you also have to remember too, like, you know, MBTC, that's an established wrapped Bitcoin now. You know, that's going to be in, you know, I think it's like in a top 5 ranking, or, you know, whatever. I don't know what number it is, but like, you know, people don't realize behind the scenes, there's things that have been working with Merlin chain, and other chains might be doing things behind the scene as well. So this will build up this like strong kind of foundation. But, you know, to kind of finish the conversation off with you, Mr. J, any other I guess tidbits for the audience before we end the segment?
All I can say is, you know, don't fade Telegram. I'm sure you guys already know that. There's just so much to learn from this whole experience, and there will be a lot of cool stuff coming out from the Merlin ecosystem on Telegram. It's just fucking insane, man. Oh shit.
All right. Our monetization's already gone anyways. No, just kidding. Don't worry about it. Fonzie, all right. Any parting words from your side?
Yeah, I mean, just overall bullish on the bullish on like just Mr. J building his stuff, bullish on the entire like brother ecosystem. I think the fact that Telegram is in discussion to onboard more people is a really, really good sign. It's a really good tell. Like I think at this point we have to identify where to get more users, and that's a really good option that provides us not only the mechanism but the infra as well. And I think it's. I mean, I've seen applications built on there, and honestly, it's pretty good. It's just as good as anywhere else.
Yep. And then Mr. Jeff, to finish us out, anything that you'd like to message you'd like to give to the audience listening in right now about maybe the future of Merlin Chain?
Yeah, I think the Merlin Mondays in November will be so much more exciting because I actually feel different today because different things are going on at the same time. So I find myself, time is like I really don't have much time every day, just like February. So I kind of turn on my Warzone mode, to be hyped and to drink lots of energy drink and coffee every day. So yeah, I think I kind of have a feeling, next, 1 month, 2 months will be very, very different, exciting. And I was just, replying someone from Twitter, there's some guy saying, oh, Jeff has been long gone for a while, don't do anything out there. I was like, dude, I was in live stream right now.
Every Monday for the past like 2.5 months, 3 months.
Yeah. And if you watch this, you kind of, understand how much we're doing, on I don't think many chains have updates on weekly basis, to be honest. So so I think I kind of find my war mode right now. I think we're going to war because everything is so
I love it.
Urgent, lots of things to build, make sure nothing happens, and we do everything so smooth. We make sure nothing bad happens. So yeah, lots of things to prepare. But I think next month will be will be very different. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, we appreciate you guys definitely jumping on this Merlin Monday. For next Monday, we do have plans for a couple of new builders that I think you guys are going to get excited about. And I'm actually, before I end the show, I'm going to go over, some steps for you guys to participate in the BTC.fun. I know that we did a pre-recording, but I want to let you guys know because there's ways for you guys to win dog tokens. That's the Rune dog tokens, and also ways for you to get a very juicy whitelist for future airdrops. So we'll get into that later. But thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Mr. J. And until Monday, take it easy.
Yep. See you guys.
See you later.
All right, Fonzie, I know you probably have a meeting to attend to too as well. So do you need to bounce out?
I have a meeting in 10 minutes, so I'll probably prepare for that. But thank you for having me up here. I love doing these shows. They're so incredible. Whenever you need me to come up here, I'm down to do it. And I think we're approaching November towards the end of October, and so hopefully the prediction of Bitcoin is on point and we cross that 69,420 mark.
Yes, sir. So get excited, guys. Get excited. But I appreciate you, Fonzie, as always. Just so much wisdom that you bring to not only to the show, to the space in general. So we appreciate it and look forward to speaking to you next week.
I appreciate that. You appreciate everyone as well. Take care, guys. Cheers.
All right, take it easy. All right, guys. I'm actually looking for the post that we made, which I can't find right now. Here it is. Let me try to share this here. Okay, so I'm actually going to put this in the chat. So if you watch this this pre-record here, you can follow the instructions. But anyways, the prize pool is 2 million dog. This is for the BTC.fun dog raffle giveaway. There's a couple things that you can do to enter into this. The simplest way to enter in is to follow the BTC.fun dog account. Like and retweet this. It's this actual link. So you need to like and retweet this link here. I'm going to put this in the chat as well. Don't like and retweet the one from Ordinal Revolution because that won't count. So once you do that, you get one entry. okay, for this raffle giveaway. Now, if you want additional entries, there's different things you can do. Like, for example, you can share your dog story. If you have a dog story, maybe you adopted a dog. I rescued a dog, so I have a dog story. If you have an image, attach that image with it. You'll get 5 additional entries. So if you do the retweet stuff, you get 1 plus 5. That's 6 total entries. To get 10 additional entries, all you have to do is hold 100,000 dog tokens in your wallet. The snapshot was taken already, though, for this, so don't go buy these if you haven't done this already. If the snapshot, I think, was October 17th, I believe it was. So if you were holding those, then you'll get that. Now, this is the biggest one. So you can get 50 additional entries if you donate 0.001 BTC. At the time, it was like $70. Bitcoin's dropped a little bit, so I think this is more like probably $66. But anyways, just say 70, right? Just to be safe. But this one also, if you do donate, you will get a whitelist for future airdrops. So the donation actually goes to a good cause. It goes to the Best Friends Animal Society that's located in the US. So there is a address to donate to here. And once you do that, you need to reach out to them with the transaction ID and your wallet address that you did donate. But you will get a whitelist for future airdrops. They don't say exactly what they're going to give you because they don't want to, put that out. They just want you guys to do this with the goodness of your heart. And that's something I actually do care about is, making sure that, these overpopulated dogs are taken care of. So I'll be donating through that. But also I love the fact that I do get to get this whitelist. Now, listen, this is BTC.fun, which is a very similar type of pump fund, but for Bitcoin Layer 1 asset. So if they're promising whitelist airdrops for something like that, I'm bullish on that. No, don't. That's not financial advice. That's not what I'm saying, but that's what I'm doing. So I wanted to kind of walk you guys through that. We appreciate you guys watching us. 391 people. It was a little bit slower day today, but hey, 391 of you guys showed up, and that's all that matters. I know Bitcoin was down today. And we were missing we were missing Shizzy as well, but still, hey, Fonzie is amazing. That was an amazing show today. We appreciate each and every one of you guys. But if you do have a moment, check out our partners, if you don't mind. BetBTC is a predictions market that is going to be launching very soon. I believe in a week and a half. They utilize ICP and Bitcoin technology for you to be able to place bets. You can place bets on sports, on political things, on anything. You can create your own markets and earn percentages of how well your market does. So big news with them once they do launch. We're going to be utilizing it once it's live. We're going to be creating a segment called Wager Wednesdays, which me and Shizzy are going to go head to head with one of our million arguments that we get into to where I beat him and take his money. So and then next is BitP, guys. The paper trading competition is live. Also, one thing I did miss, though, I want to make sure I get this super chat because I did see a super chat from our guy Rocket Dog. He is our #1 subscriber. He literally subscribed, the first person to subscribe. But he says Kitty Cash website is live. It has a meme maker as well. So Kitty Cash is a cat 20. Go check out the meme maker with Kitty Cash. But appreciate that super chat, Rocket Dog. Sorry it took so long. I did get kind of wrapped up in the Merlin Mondays, but I wanted to make sure I got your super chat out. Appreciate that. But back to BitP, their paper trading competition is live. I believe right now you've got to follow those instructions. We will be making a recorded video on that, but you get 10,000 fake USDT. If you lose that, you're done. But you're going to be trading against me, Shizzy, and a lot of the community members right now, because we're going to be participating in that. It's going to last about 4 to 5 weeks. Right now, we can only trade BTC, but that's fine because BTC is sometimes volatile, so you can actually get some really good P&L on that. Whoever has the most P&L after 4 to 5 weeks will win 100,000 BTP tokens. I think estimated values anywhere between 6 and 10 grand USD, but don't hold me to that. That's what we projected on that. So check out BitPerp. It's bitperp.io. You do have to use a VPN. You can use our one of the NordVPN. We have a link for that if you want to purchase that, or if you already have a VPN, just use that because you will need that if you're located in the US. Ordinal Hive, we just talked about those guys. It looks like layer 1 volume is ramping up, guys. You can earn points if you list, sell, and buy, and those points will be going towards TGE stuff. I don't know exactly, but you guys can put 2 and 2 together. But you can utilize it on Merlin layer 2. There's going to be multiplier campaigns there as well. Foxy is building in the Tap ecosystem. They're building the Bitverse, the Clan Wars. If you have a bit miner, you will get block dropped a lightsaber, like the Star Wars lightsaber, and one of those slashes actually kills your opponent with just one strike. So make sure if you do have a bit miner, you check and make sure you get one of those dropped to you, because I think those are going to, do pretty decent on secondary. And then you have Fluid Tokens, guys. Fluid Tokens is probably one of the biggest innovators, UTXO devs that came over from Cardano, still building on Cardano, but building on Bitcoin now as well. You can actually utilize their staking vaults. If you are a builder, you can reach out to Raul, the CTO of Fluid Tokens, and try to set up a staking vault for your community. Get them to earn something. If you're launching a new collection, try out a strategy of giving half of the BTC you earn to the staking vault. I think that if you let your mentors know that you're going to do that, probably have a better chance of minting out, right? Makes sense to me if I can get my mint money back and then some. But anyhow, they also do allow you to swap runes on their platform. They split it up for you. And then, of course, lastly but not least, Merlin Chain, guys. They are the #1 chain for scaling layer 1 assets and protocol. So if you're a builder on Bitcoin layer 1 and you are looking to scale your platform, reach out to Merlin Chain's team. They have amazing support for builders. They have great grants too. As long as you're serious about it, they will definitely take you for consideration. We've had a couple of the builders come through, receive that grant, so it's definitely helpful. So check them out as well. And check out our website, ordinalrevolution.com. We have tons of articles there. You can check out all of our gear. I got this this hoodie, the Cursed Goosenals hoodie from there. This hat as well. So you can just go to our store, check it out, ordinalrevolution.com, and click on the store tab. But until tomorrow, peace.